What's up, guys? Today we're at the new property out here in the Sierra Nevada mountains where we're going to be building the next rig. And today we're going to be packing up our stuff and be taking a flight back to Colorado, where we're going to be picking up the F450 at the old ranch, and we're going to be driving it all the way back here to the Sierra Nevadas. Then it's going to be time to come into the workshop, get everything cleared out and organized, and we're going to be starting our next build. But I'm a little worried about doing a cross-country trip on the 450 for a couple reasons, and we'll dive into that a little later when you guys see it. Long story short, that F450 is basically our U-Haul to get all of my tools back to this shop. And because I'm freaking poor and I spend all my money on truck stuff, well, we're going to be taking a Frontier flight, and I'm bringing a minimal amount of stuff with me. And here's everything that I'm bringing on this trip. We got our GoPro, we got our drone and SD cards, we got some extra batteries for the GoPro, got chargers, got the laptop, toothbrush and toothpaste. We got 2 t-shirts, 1 pair of shorts, a couple pairs of underwear. We got our chacos and a backpack. This trip is going to be a little bit of a rough time because I'm not traveling out of my home like I normally do. I'm going to be traveling out of a moving truck basically, and I am not about to put money into hotel rooms and stuff like that when I could be putting it into fuel to get back here. And that savings is what goes into truck parts for the next build. We're going to be living off of gas station hot dogs and Monster and energy drinks. And I'm not going to have a place to sleep, so I'm either going to have to sleep on the roof of the 450 or down on the ground. And I don't know if I even have a sleeping bag in the 450, so yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And unfortunately, Ruger isn't going to be able to come with me. We have 2 people here at the ranch that are going to be able to look after him, but it's kind of going to be really weird to be away from him. You know, for the last couple of years, he hasn't spent a single night alone, like away from me. It's just been me and him constantly. I feel really bad leaving him here. He'll do good. He'll be happy here, and I'm sure that he'll be wagging his whole body when he sees me. Ruger, let's go! Watching over the place, buddy. Love you, buddy. All right, let's go to Sacramento. All right, kitty, kitty. Come on. Ready? Let's do it. So every night I do some weird stuff. I watch the nightly news, you know, Lester Holt, NBC News, and then I usually watch something like a little bit more educational, like maybe like How It's Made or something like that on the Discovery Channel. But lately I found this really interesting YouTube channel, and it's called Mayday Air Disaster. And I don't know why I've been watching this, but it's basically all commercial airliner crashes, and it's really interesting. But now I'm about to get on a plane flight after watching this every night for like the last month.
Place mask over your nose and mouth, adjust the fit by
All right, it's 1:30 a.m. Just got into the Denver airport. No Mayday Air Disasters tonight. If I didn't have my friend picking me up, I'd probably just do what this guy's doing. I was halfway planning on sleeping in the airport if my buddy couldn't pick me up tonight. Well, I just had something weird happen. A lady from Europe just approached me, and it's kind of a long story, but she has a job going on tomorrow, and she just flew over here from the UK and was not able to get her stuff transferred over money-wise, and was not able to get a cab to get to Longmont, and she needed $40 for her cab. I may have just gotten scammed, but a lot of people have taken a chance on me and have helped me out in a pinch. So I just gave her 60 bucks. We'll see if she pays me back and if it's actually true or not, but sometimes you gotta give people a chance. All right, there's my ride. Yo!
What's up?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? How's the flight?
Pretty good. Guys, you remember Matt?
What's up? Most familiar face on the channel. How y'all doing?
We'll get his face on the channel once we film the 4-wheel drive conversion. Or actually, once I put that video together. Dude, I still haven't put that video together.
Dude, you got a lot going on, man.
It's like it's over a terabyte of footage that I gotta go through and select all the clips from. But Time to get to the ranch. All right, we're back at Matt's house, and this is the one night that I'm probably actually gonna have a bed.
Welcome to MTV Cribs. This is where we kick it. This is where all the magic happens. Right here we got the bathroom. It's just storage right now.
Dude, this is sweet.
Got a microwave. Got some climbing gear.
Not a bad little setup in here, man.
This is my office right here. This is my book collection and my ammo collection.
Dude, you have the old 550 packs of 22?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen the 550 packs in ages. I don't think they still sell those.
No, they're hard to find. This is where all the magic happens. Right here.
Oh yeah? This is where we're about to make love?
Official sponsor. Fucking Blue Chew.
What is that?
Dick pills, bro.
Are you serious? What is that?
It's Blue Chew, bro.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a cool Viagra.
It's Viagra?
It's like a cool Viagra. It's like for the more young, hip crowd.
Okay.
But this month, highly recommend doing the 45 milligram pills.
God, dude. Well, I got a bed. I'm stoked on that. All right, that's it for night number one. It is 3:40, and we got to get up at about 7:30. Peace. Well, we've been driving for about 2 hours from Colorado Springs to get out here to the ranch.
Final deja vu moment.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been coming up this drive. And how many times have you been out here to the ranch?
I've been out here a couple times. Let's see if the mountain walls are here. I think
No, that's the next turn.
Oh, next one?
Yep, next turn, and we'll get the Malinois chasing us. So the Malinois are up there at that turn. I feel like they'd be here by now. Because they're out pretty quick. Yeah, let's keep going. I'll just hang out in front of these properties where it says, "We'll shoot." There was these two Belgian Malinois that stayed at that property. And pretty much every time I drive by, they'd just run out of the fence and come chasing you, barking and biting at your tires and stuff. I mean, those things they're going after you. Yeah, as soon as you slowed down, they just went back. They turned around like they were non-confrontational.
It was all interest.
But if you were driving, they were chasing. There we go, back at the ranch. And the 450. Dude, this just made me so much more excited to get back to work. Just seeing this thing, dude. Seeing that 6-speed manual in there. Ah, it's all locked. Dude, it is absolutely stuffed.
You have a ton of stuff.
It's really bad. And like all these compartments are full. All this stuff in the back, dude.
You are not kidding, bro.
Dude, it is packed.
There's no way you could have fit the bike in here.
Look how bad this is.
Oh, God.
This is definitely the U-Haul right now.
Shit, bro.
Dude, I got all this lumber in here. And all these compartments are full.
Dude, a heavy trip, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it by a cat scale and see what it's weighing in at.
Oh, dude, you should. I'd be so curious.
I mean, this truck can do 15,000, but it's got a lot of shit in here.
The tools weigh a lot.
And heavy, just heavy stuff.
Yeah,
like
bunch of
it got
steel.
Welders in there. Got the plasma cutter. Plasma cutter's actually pretty light. Oxygen tanks. Yeah, all the tools. Got steel in here.
Lumber.
What's nice about this one is that the door layout is skewed to the right.
To do some sort of rack with a ladder, put jerry cans on it, and check out the little spider.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be the only spot that I can put a ladder. And then I need to figure out as well where I put a mini split unit, because I do plan on running a mini split.
Yeah, a lot of planning to do.
Well, and that's why I need to demo this thing, so that way I can go in and figure out what my final design is going to be.
Yeah, you
actually figure out how this thing's structured inside.
Get some dimensions going. Figure out what you're working with.
Well, and two, like doing a cab over with this thing, I want to know I really want to understand this structure because I had to be cutting into it, and that could, you know, that could affect just the structural soundness of this whole thing. All right, I got to put a fuse in because I took a fuse out so the truck won't start. Yeah, Marty has had people come out here before and
really,
yeah, try to steal stuff. I think this guy replaced his turbo. He definitely replaced his up pipes at some point because they are clean, dude. I don't see any animal nests. Pop this little fuse panel. Now I just need to figure out what fuse I pulled because there's a few that won't start this truck. All right, we got our fuse. If the batteries haven't died, it should be ready to start. She hasn't started in a while. It's so weird being filmed. I never have someone following around filming me. All right, brother. Catch you later.
until next time, man.
Thanks for driving me out. Better come to the new place. All right, here's what we got to do to the truck to get it back to California. Need to change the oil on this thing, which I have. Then, since this box is not permanently mounted right now, I actually need to go in and connect the taillights to this thing because none of my taillights work. So I got to wire those up. And then remember how I said that this thing is kind of sketchy the way it's put together right now? Here's what I mean. So what we did is we took these 2x6s and 2x8s and we lined them all the way up and down the frame. And that right there is because this bracket does not sit flush on the frame. I couldn't get the brackets mounted on this thing without like really taking my time, and like we needed to go ahead and get a move on and get out of here. So we ended up just strapping this thing. So now we got this thing up to temp. Let's change our oil. We got our Rotella T6. This guy will drink up 15 quarts of that. Our genuine Motorcraft oil filter. We don't really have any tools with us, so I need to see if that filter will come off with just my hands, pretty much. The oil filter wrench I have here isn't going to be big enough. All right, we're going to see if that oil pan bolt can come off with these guys. You're not supposed to use them, but right now I don't have my tools, so if it doesn't give me any give, we're not going to do it. Got that guy moving. This is the best part. See how fast you are with your fingers. Just throw a little pressure up against the threads while unscrewing it. There's a certain point where you just kind of feel, there it is, that's loose. Ah, black sludge. It's actually not sludgy. This stuff is fine. It's just black. Diesels get black pretty quick. And these things usually spill a lot. People say to put a cup under them, or, oh, wait a second, I have a better idea. So there's a trick you can do with these oil filters, and I forget it every single time I do these. This is a little smaller than you'd want, but you just take one of these guys. I'm gonna twist it around a little bit to make a bigger hole. And there you go. All I need to do is give it a second and I can twist it off without spilling a ton of oil on myself. And we're really gonna need to go through this truck. I don't know if you guys see how much debris there is kind of lined up on here. I don't see any active oil leaks on this vehicle, but I know that I need to go through it. There was some type of leak over here. I believe it was a power steering leak, and that's what a lot of this sludge is actually from. But that was repaired before I bought it. Oh, no, it's not ready. It's not ready. Ah, damn it. Ah! We're waiting for that one. We're gonna go ahead and prep this filter. Ugh. Guys, it's hard to film and work. I hope you know how much this takes. I just dip my finger in there, throw a little bit of oil on that ring. I'll get that nice and smooth, ready to go. Just get it nice and hand tight. I don't think that trick I was telling you about really worked how I wanted it to work. I don't know if you guys can tell what this is here, but this is Rotella T6. It's a 15W40. It's a full synthetic. It's one of the nicer oils that you can get. And I change my trucks at every 5,000 miles can usually push this type of oil 7,000-8,000 miles. I forget what his name is, but there's a YouTube channel that's really popular. Guy has an automotive shop. It's like Dave's Automotive or something like that. Anyway, he tears down engines, and you get to see what engines look like with lack of maintenance and lack of oil changes. You know, it's just so much cheaper to go ahead and do them at a regular interval. 5,000 miles on Rotella T6, that's where I like to be. Let's start her with some fresh oil. She's definitely got a long crank to her. I gotta figure that out. My other truck does not act like that. Even when it's negative 14, 15 outside, my other truck starts up. All right, now that we got the oil changed, we have 2 more things to do. First one is to get our lights working, because when we set the box down, nothing's wired up. So the only tool that I still seem to have inside this rig that is electrical related, because I brought most of my electrical stuff down to the new place. Yeah, I need to test this thing and find out which is which, get those things wired up. Turn signal, reverse, and brake. Okay, I actually just found something that I might like a little bit better than really diving into the wiring here. We got this guy off the ambulance, and then we got this 5-pin connector back here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and rewire this for this old 5-pin connector, or put some type of adapter on it. So I'll probably just go to the hardware store, which is about 30 minutes down the road, and run it dirty, and then we'll get that wiring put together. Right, then the last thing I gotta do is just check these straps, make sure they're all tight. It's tight. I think that's good. There's definitely a lot to work through on this truck. I don't know if you guys can see here, but it's definitely not a rust-free truck. There's a whole story when I went up there. Old man was selling it like 77 or so, retiring from his business, and just seemed like a really, you know, solid guy. Well, I asked him if the truck had any rust at all, and he was like, nope, it's perfectly clean, and it looked completely rust-free in the pictures. And there's definitely some rust on this truck. I'm honestly gonna go through it and kind of figure out what I want to do. It's too much, I might just replace the cab. I might even sell this truck. I got the truck for 10 grand, and these trucks are really rare. It is so tough to find a F450 or 550 with the 7.3 with a 6-speed manual with 4-wheel drive. They're just rare trucks. They got a really great drivetrain, really reliable, that they are getting harder to find. So I think that means the only thing I need to do is stick a plate on here, which I think might also be a hardware store thing, because I do not have the right size bolts for it. So for the short drive down there, I think I'm just gonna put it like that. Cop probably won't be thrilled, but hey, at least I can say that I tried. And it's goodbye to this place. I'm okay with being out of here. It's been, I have some hard memories through the winter. All right, let's get to a hardware store and get on the road. This thing really needs to get run. It's taking a while to crank up. I just realized there's one other thing I need to fix. Like bad, it's a priority. The fuel filler. I'm not gonna be able to get any fuel in this thing. The fuel filler hose is the stock one, and I'm gonna need to see what I can do to be able to get fuel into that tank. I'm at like 1/3 of a tank right now. But man, it feels so nice to drive this truck again. I love the manual, love the standard shifter down there. And this is a sweet truck, besides the rust and some of the stuff that I'm gonna have to deal with. let's see what we got going on with the fuel filler. It's right there. Pretty far away. We just got to the ace. Let's see what I might be able to do about this. Well, that's not a good start. Wonder if I could, for now, run it off the back. I'm gonna have to pinch this thing pretty hard to get it through. If I hang it like this, I'm gonna have to crawl underneath the truck every single time to fill it up. That's gonna look weird at gas stations. I'm most worried about that bend that I have right there. That's gonna be the difficult thing to get over. I might have to throw a 90-degree elbow in that. We got the Ace employees on my side, getting me loaner tools like this flathead. I'm gonna take this piece in and see what happens. All right, it looks like it's a 2-inch piece, so hopefully this will work. All right, we got 3.5 feet of this stuff. We got this little elbow here, which should help us get around that corner without pinching the whole thing. And then we're gonna have to extend our return line too, so we'll get back to that. It's not the last time I'm going in Ace. We'll remove that one right there. I really don't like the look of that. That's a sharp edge right there. Like it got cut. I really don't like that. Get this doodad in there. The old man in plumbing saw what I was doing out here. He called me a crazy motherfucker. You're not wrong, dude. Get this put through there. Hopefully that's long enough. Grab an extra hose clamp. I think I ruined my favorite Expedition Ranch shirt. I don't love that. I don't love that it's rubbing on the hanger right there. But that 3.5 feet was like the perfect call. So now I need to get this return line fed up there. So it looks like I'm gonna probably need about 2 feet. Basically just gonna take this cap off. Man, I'm gonna be filthy after this. What's that one guy on YouTube? He always says this thing. It's you aren't rich if you aren't filthy. Something like that. Doesn't really make any sense, honestly. D-Boss Garage, that's what it is. Okay, I was wrong. I need to shorten this about 8 inches. All right, we got that together. We get the cap on now. And we can finally fill up on fuel. I'm gonna have at least 4 fuel stops on the way back to California. Don't even have a wrench to put these on. We're just tightening as much as they'll go. All right, now it's time to wire this guy to the ambulance box because that plugs into our 5-pin connector that we have back here. So I need to cut this end off and I need to see what I can match up here. All right, we got our wiring pretty much put together. Not sure what this black wire goes to. We have our tail lights, we have our right turn, we have our left turn, we have ground. I don't know if we're gonna have reverse lights by the look of it, but honestly all I need is brake lights, running lights, and then, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this one out here. I don't think that this is a ground wire, just because you see up here, there's a positive lead, and then there's a negative lead. And your ground right there is white. So I'm tending to think that this is, maybe this is reverse lights? I don't know. When I was at the ranch, I found a plug on the backside of the ambulance that looked to be a direct plug-in to the trailer lights for the original ambulance. I could take that plug and plug it right into our trailer harness on the truck. But for whatever reason, that would not work, and a lot of the electronics on the ambulance are super complex, so it probably had to do something with that. When this idea failed and I couldn't get it to work, the backup plan was to go ahead and take the original lights that we had on the F450 and wire them directly to the lights on the ambulance, cutting out any additional circuitry. But when I started working on that backup plan, I started to realize that I wasn't getting any signals from my original wires on the truck. It's like they simply stopped working. I checked my fuses and everything seemed to be good, so I really didn't know what was going on here. I have a feeling that what we're missing is the ground from the box of this ambulance to the chassis. Maybe they need to share a common ground for it to work. Well, that looks like it would be it right there. There's our ground. That's gonna be a terrible ground. I don't have anything to clean up that ground with me. I think I'm gonna go in there and ask if I can borrow a cordless drill. All right, I got the drill. These guys at Ace, they've been really helping me out. All right, I think that should be good enough. Get this guy hooked up right there. Really don't want to go through Salt Lake City without taillights. Okay, we got it plugged in. It should be grounded. Let's see what it does. Okay, that did something. We still don't have turn signals. I don't know how. My guess is that that black cable is the ground. I really hope I don't short anything right now. Well, something happened because I don't have anything now. I just blew a fuse. Hopefully I blew a fuse. All right, I have one other option because I don't think that this plug is going to work. I don't know what's going on the back end of this electrical system for the Ambo, but what I do know is that I can probably get it hooked up straight to the original lights. I just need to chase down the original lights and find out what blinks with my test light. So at this point, none of this is really making sense to me. A lot of the plugs don't even seem to have power coming to them. I don't know if I have a bad ground and it's just not reading it or what, but the fact of the matter is that I'm losing daylight. I need to get myself into the mountains so I have a place to sleep. I'll have to look into it more then. Good news is that it's mostly single lane highway, so I shouldn't have an issue with that. Brake lights matter, and that's why I want to get on the road before dark, because it's going to matter more then. Really not what I want to be doing right now. I don't know what the deal is back there. You know, the plug didn't work. There's multiple grounds for the chassis, so, you know, I don't know how the ambulance box is set up. I could wire directly from the wiring that I originally had on the truck to the original lights, like directly to the lights on the ambulance. But for some reason, I can't get a signal on what's turn lights, what's running lights, anything, and I'm pretty sure I have a good ground back there for my test light, but I don't know what's going on. At this point, it's getting late, and I need to get on the road so that way I can at least have a place to park. If I'm gonna be running without lights, then I definitely need to do it before it gets dark out. So wish me luck, guys. Time to find out if we actually can get fuel in this truck. I mean, I don't see any reason why we won't, but hey, you never know. God. Well, that's kind of cool. You can see it all coming in now. I would say that works. Like a freaking charm. At least we got something, right? Okay, I shit you not. I just came from a gas station. I pulled over for a second and I went to start this thing, turned the key, and then the lights flickered on the dash. Gauges went up, down, off. Happened like 3 times in a row. I just went to start it again and it worked. I'm really getting concerned about this trip. I'm really getting concerned right now. I mean, I was already concerned, but I've done a lot of sketchy stuff in my life, and this did not seem that sketchy. It was sketchy, but it wasn't that bad. And then to turn my key over and for the thing not to even turn on. No power to come in. Check my batteries and they're connected. But are you silly? We're still gonna send it. Hopefully this thing just doesn't shut off when I'm driving. I knew I was gonna have to do stuff to this truck, but I wasn't expecting troubleshooting stuff like that. That was really weird. It was almost like the battery was loose or something, but it wasn't. It's really freaking weird. Alright, so she's doing okay so far. I'm not shutting her off. Not until I get to someplace safe. Not really liking how that's looking. I wonder if that slid forward more. Can't really tell without a measuring tape. The only thing that I can think of to try to pull this box back, at least right now, is I could try going at it in reverse and stopping really hard. Might work. I don't remember if it was that much or not. This side definitely seems a lot more even, but honestly it doesn't seem too much different. At least it's beautiful out right now. So you guys remember that woman that I told you about at the airport the other day? Yeah, she scammed me. She completely scammed me. So I just started therapy a couple of days ago, and the main reason is because I have some significant trust issues. I mean, my best friend of 12 years freaking stole my entire livelihood and work for the 4 years that I did it. And that was my best freaking friend for 12 years. Well, listen to what this lady did. I'm getting out of the airport down to the baggage claim. There's this lady on the phone that looks absolutely distressed. She said something to me, something along the lines of, hey, I never do this, but I'm really in a pinch and I don't know what to do. I just flew across from the UK. She had a British accent, all this stuff, probably fake. You know, this nice middle-aged lady, and she explains that she can't access any of her funds, tells this whole story, it makes some sense. And you know, I've been in a pinch a few times, and I've had some people that took a chance on me, and you know, they've given me money and done stuff like that. And honestly, I was just like, I want to pay it forward. You know, I know that this might be a scam. She basically needed $40 to travel about an hour and a half, get a cab, and get to her hotel. She had some ridiculously important meeting apparently at 8 a.m. the next day. So I decided to take a chance and help her out. She needed $40 and I took out 60. I gave her freaking $60. And the cherry on top is that when I gave it to her, I said, I'm doing this because I still have faith in humanity and I want to help you out. And she smiled at me and said, thank you so much. Like, are there any decent people out there anymore? I hate that the lesson that I have to take away from this is that you just can't trust people. Like, I know that I took a chance, and honestly, if I had really asked her more questions, there would have been some red flags. Like, what do you guys think of this? Like, please comment something about this. Like, this isn't a ploy to get comments. I mean, hopefully it works, but geez, I really want to know from you guys. Was this just really dumb of me? Like, am I that freaking gullible? And I forgot to tell you this part. The reason why I'm so upset right now is because I go to call the number that she gave me. Yeah, the number is no longer in service. So it's obvious I got scammed. This woman probably comes into the airport, into the baggage area, and does that same stunt over and over again. She obviously had it together because she had a convincing enough story. I got faked out by a woman who had a fake British accent. Like, how freaking cliche is that? And to look me right in the eyes when I tell her that I'm doing this because I still have faith in humanity. All right. We're going down Monarch Pass right now, which is one of the tougher sections that we're gonna have, and everything seems to be holding up just fine. It's just a really curvy road with a lot of exposure on the side. And one thing I really like about the manual is you're just able to control your speed a lot easier than the automatic. Right now we're sitting in third gear. about 2200, 2100 RPM, something like that. Going down about an 8% grade. Certainly keeps your speed down without having to use the brakes at all. Okay, it just did it again. Something shut the truck off while I was driving here. All the gauges went on and off. I've never had this issue in this truck, and I've driven it quite a bit. It happened when I was going over some bumps, so I'm wondering if there's some type of loose connection going on here that's causing it to shut off. I was able to go ahead, and because I'm going downhill, I just popped the clutch and got this thing started again. But yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. I'm hoping that it's something simple, but there's definitely something going on here, and I'm not sure what it is. All the gauges went on and off, and it basically just turned on and off a bunch of times like it was losing power somewhere. And now I got to make it back to California in a pinch, so I don't think we're going to be turning this truck off anytime soon. I got to keep this thing going. I really have no idea what's going on here. This is really weird and definitely pretty freaky. It's weird that it shut off on me while I was driving. And I definitely don't want it shutting off on me again out here because I'm on Kebler Pass, which is kind of a remote section. It's basically a 2-hour dirt road between Crested Butte, Colorado and Delta. Well, this is exactly what I did not want to be doing. I did not want to be driving at dark. Everyone behind me's been staying way back and flashing their brights at me to let me know that I don't have any taillights. I know. We have a Walmart coming up here, and I'm gonna stop in there and see if I can get some trailer lights, and those should be able to just plug right into the factory harness on this truck, and hopefully that'll mean I at least have running lights, brake lights, and possibly turn signals. So we'll see what happens up here. Okay, this guy right here I think will work for me. They are magnetic and the aluminum is not magnetic, but I think some duct tape will fix that. We're gonna need one of these guys and some Gorilla Tape. All right, it is 11 p.m. We are at the Walmart parking lot, and I think I figured out how these lights work. I was just able to plug these into the factory. It's a 5-pin actually, but anytime it's grounded out, and it needs to be on the steel. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. When it's grounded out, it does that. It doesn't go through the paint, it looks like. I think we're just gonna duct tape these guys right to the back and do it in such a way where it grounds out. That's how we're gonna get back tonight. All right, we got running lights. So what we basically did is we just took duct tape, made a cradle, and then, you know, stuck a bunch of it on there. Same thing on this side. And then we got it wired to our plug here. Now, for whatever reason, we still don't have brake lights. But you know what? This right here is a lot better than having no lights on the back. We do have turn signals. Never mind, we don't have turn signals. Oh. I need to turn the truck. I need to put the key in the ignition to get turn signals. So that one doesn't work on this side. But I think the other one works. Oh, that's weird. Nothing. I could have sworn that we had it a minute ago. I do not know what's going on. Greens to green, yellows to yellow. But we do have some type of lights on the ground, and that's a win on this one. All right, there's one other thing. We have this wire here, which we need to secure. Had it tucked up somewhere. But this is, I think that this is a live wire. It's 2-gauge wire, so I'm gonna wrap that up a little bit better, find a spot to hang it. All right, now let's see if she'll start. All right, that's perfect. I just pulled over. I'm absolutely exhausted right now. We're at some middle of the nowhere type of gas station, and I found this tree, which should block the sun for a while, because it's gonna get really hot today. Just gonna post up and take a nap in here. Honestly, the bench seat is not too bad. When I first bought this thing, I actually slept on this bench seat for 2 or 3 nights in a row in a Walmart parking lot. And it was because I was waiting for some guy that I was supposed to meet, that I had driven all the way up there for, to buy an ambulance box for this truck. And he completely no-showed on me, and I was waiting there for 3 days, called him probably 10 times, texted him a bunch. But I slept right here on this seat with Ruger. And as much as I miss Ruger right now, it is so nice to have this bench seat open. I thought I was gonna be sleeping on the roof or doing something like that to get a nap, but I can definitely sleep on this seat. Okay, some gas station lady just came over here and knocked on my window. Scared the shit out of me, which scared the shit out of her, because like immediately went into like defense mode. I probably look like such a bum sleeping on the bench seat in this thing. If it was painted and it looked expensive, probably wouldn't have gotten the knock. But I guess it's our time to go ahead and keep moving forward. The rest of the drive was pretty uneventful, and for whatever reason, I had way more energy than I should have had. That 25-minute nap really woke me up again. Once I got back to the property, I found out what was causing our starting issue. The main ground from the chassis to the battery was loose, which is a pretty easy fix and was a huge sigh of relief that something wasn't seriously wrong with the truck. It's moments like this that I really realize the shit that I've had to go through to really pursue the dreams that I have. If you guys have watched my Pursuing Passion videos, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But honestly, going through the puts a smile on my face. I know that I'm doing what I need to do to pursue this crazy idea of Expedition Ranch. Building really unique campers, giving them away, and working with a couple nonprofits to help support our public lands. That's a dream I want to pursue, and going through the shit, well, it's worth it. And to be quite honest with you, if it's a huge success one day, I'll have some pretty crazy stories of how I made it happen. And even if it's not a success, I know that I will have left nothing on the table. And I think that's the most important part. He's gonna be so excited. I'm going to take him off that I'm here. Hey! Hey! Hey, Ruger! Hey, Ruger! Hey, buddy! Hey, buddy! Hey! Alright guys, we got the 450 back to the new property. It's finally time to jump inside the rig and go to bed. I can't believe I'm gonna be moving out of this thing. I can't tell you guys how nice it is to come in here and know that it's time to go to bed. Get in here and just fall asleep. I have been up since Saturday at 7 a.m. and it's Monday night. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday at 1 a.m. Finally back in my home with my dog. It's gonna be one of your guys' homes. I hope that you guys use it like a home. Get out and get on the road for 6 months. Something like that. I know most of you guys have jobs and actual homes and stuff like that, but I hope you guys take this thing out and actually use it. Have your little apartment on wheels out in the middle of nowhere. You get in this thing long enough and it feels like home. Anyways guys, I got a surprise for you. Tomorrow, I'm going to be getting on a flight and going to Billings, Montana, because I'm getting something up there. And honestly, you guys are not going to freaking believe what I'm doing up in Billings, but we'll leave that for the next episode. Good night, guys.